say shy don't dance no more, and the little kids don't got a chance no more.
There's something about Fujifilm cameras that keeps pulling me back in, and it probably pulls a lot of you guys in. It's not just the dials or the way the shutter sounds or how compact the cameras are, it's how much personality they have baked in. Every recipe tells a story, a mood, a way of seeing the world, and over time I found 3 that have stuck with me through almost every shoot. Each one brings out a different side of my photography, from cinematic color to nostalgic warmth to gritty black and white simplicity. So today, I want to walk you through 3 Fujifilm recipes that I think every creator should try, what they do, and how they feel to shoot with. And if you enjoy videos like this, real world looks that go beyond the specs, take a second to like the video and subscribe. It really helps these kinds of stories reach more photographers who care more about the why and not just the how. If you ever wished your Fuji photos looked like they were pulled straight from a mid-80s roll of Kodak film, this is the one for you. Classic 89. It feels timeless, calm, cinematic, and quietly confident. It's built on classic chrome, but tuned with subtle grain and a strong color chrome effect that makes the reds and browns glow just a bit richer. In camera, it looks natural, not too warm, not too digital, but there's something in how it handles skin tones and sunlight that gives it this real world film look. When I shoot Classic 89, it slows me down in a good way. It makes me want to chase soft light, muted tones, and moments that breathe. On the X100VI, I love pairing this recipe with early morning or late afternoon light, anywhere the shadows still have texture. It's great for portraits, city walks, or just capturing those quiet scenes you normally scroll past. It feels cinematic without trying to be cinematic. The kind of look that makes everyday life feel like a memory you didn't realize you were living. This is literally my go-to recipe. I use it every single day. It's my catch-all recipe that's super versatile. You can use it in any lighting condition, indoors or outdoors. Most of the settings that directly impact this versatility are on auto, like dynamic range and white balance. But yeah, this is my catch-all, my go-to, and something that I think that you'll really enjoy. For Classic 89, you're going to want to punch these settings into your camera. I have the image quality set to fine plus raw, even though I love JPEGs and not having to edit and post. Having the raw is good for backup just in case I want to manipulate a specific image or change something up. Raw recording is set to uncompressed. Film sim, of course, is classic chrome. Grain effect is weak and small. Color chrome effect is strong. Color chrome effects blue is weak. White balance shift is auto with a red +2 and a blue -5. Dynamic range is also set to auto. Tone curve, the highlights are at -1.5 and the shadows at +2. Color is +4. Sharpness is 0. High ISO noise reduction is -4. And clarity is set to 0, but mostly because it does slow down your shooting process. When you have to take a photo, it has some added processing time with clarity turned on. But what I do normally is I go to raw conversion, which is another reason why I shoot plus raw, because I do raw conversion. I'm able to add in as much clarity as I want. Sometimes I want an extra little bit of clarity and sharpness in there, depending on the subject matter and the image. But I do that in raw conversion. Also, you can go in and change the color chrome effects if you want, deeper blues, or you can change the recipe altogether if you want to. But I shoot raw plus JPEG for that specific reason. And if Classic 89 is nostalgia, Tealwoof Diary is clarity. It's that crisp, modern tone you get when light cuts clean through the air. No haze, no fluff. I first used this one at sunset on Santa Monica Pier on the beach, and the colors felt pure. The whites lean warmer, the blues have depth, and the shadows stay clean without turning muddy. It's built on classic chrome too, but with the stronger contrast in the shadows and slightly pulled back highlights. The balance gives you this almost analog street photo feel. It's honest, it's sharp, and like a documentary style. Tealwoof Diary shines when you're surrounded by architecture, reflections, shadows, complex lighting, harsh light. It's perfect for city days, travel, the beach, or any scene where you want to feel the texture of the world without oversaturation. Shooting with this recipe feels intentional, like it asks you to line things up to find rhythm and geometry. And since this recipe has a fixed white balance of 6500 Kelvin, when you're shooting at golden hour or at sunset, it's gonna have a real earthy feel. The browns are gonna be very rich, but you're still gonna get blues in the skies. It's gonna look more teal. The yellows are gonna be very prominent, and it's gonna give you a distinctive look versus if you were to shoot at blue hour or at 5600 Kelvin in regular daylight scenario. I also love the way this recipe pops the reds and the greens. It just feels, like I said, earthy. It feels warm, it feels rich. Now for Tealwoof Diary, you're going to want to put these settings in your camera. Image quality, once again, fine plus raw. Film sim is classic chrome. Grain effect is turned off for this one. Color chrome effect is strong. Color chrome effects blue is weak. White balance shift is 6500 Kelvin, red -1, blue -3. Dynamic range is set to 200. I find that DR200 is a good middle ground where you're able to get some really good information on the highlights and the shadows. It's not, completely flat and, HDR looking, and it's not, completely crushed like DR100 is. So in the middle, it's nice. For tone curve, highlights are a -2 and shadows are a -0.5. Color is +3. Sharpness is -2. Noise reduction is set to -4. Clarity, once again, is set to 0, but if you do want to add a little bit of clarity in post, in camera and playback, raw conversion, add in that clarity. And then there's Street Monochrome. It's my go-to when I need to reset. I don't want to worry about color. I just want to worry about tones, contrast, and light. This one is built on Acro's film simulation with a strong grain and deep shadow lift. It's bold, it's simple, and emotional. When I shoot in black and white, I love just not thinking about color entirely. I start noticing texture and movement and emotion. It's perfect for street, documentary work, or just, days when the world feels too busy and you want to strip back all the color and just focus on light and shape. Street Monochrome gives you this crisp, contrasty tone that makes every frame feel deliberate. It's not soft or dreamy, it's confident. The highlights hit harder, the shadows feel carved out, and the grain gives everything a tactile realism. Every time I shoot this recipe, I end up rediscovering how powerful simplicity can be and how much I love black and white. No distractions, no post work, just composition, timing, and mood. It feels honest, like the photo is meeting you halfway instead of trying to impress you. Now for Street Monochrome, you're gonna wanna put these settings in your camera. We're doing fine plus raw. Film sim is Acro standard. Monochrome color, I haven't manipulated this in any way. Everything's set to 0. Grain effect is strong and large. I love grain on my black and white photos. Color chrome effect is strong. Of course, there's no color because it's black and white, but it does give you a different tonality when you turn on color chrome effect. This is also true for color chrome effect blue. What I noticed for color chrome effect blue is that it kind of dehazes the blues a little bit, if that makes sense. It makes them deeper. Your blues are richer and darker, but I don't like really dark blues in my black and white. I don't want my sky to be super dark. I want my sky, so I turn off color chrome effects blue on this black and white recipe. White balance is set to daylight with a red +9 and a blue -9. Dynamic range is set to auto to add to its versatility. For tone curve, highlights are set to 0 and shadow are +3. Sharpness is +1. Noise reduction is set to -4. Clarity, once again, is 0. It's also worth noting that many of these recipes can be used on, different sensors and different generations of Fujifilm cameras. I personally have used classic 89 on my X Pro 1, 2, on my GFX 50R, on my X100VI, and a lot of times it just comes down to the difference in color chrome effects, being able to add that or manipulate that. For the GFX 50R, it doesn't have the tone curve in 0.5 increments, so I just use your discretion, your creative discretion, and your creative liberty to adjust the things that aren't available in your camera. But the overall look and tones should be very, very similar across the board. Each of these recipes has its own rhythm. Classic 89 feels cinematic and timeless. Tealwoof Diary feels clean and modern and warm and rich. And Street Monochrome just feels raw and reflective. There are 3 different ways of seeing the same world. One through memory, one through clarity, and one through emotion. And that's what I love about Fujifilm. You don't just take photos, you choose how they feel with these recipes. If this kind of creative storytelling resonates with you, hit the like button and subscribe. I'm gonna be doing this a lot more. I share tools, recipes, and reflections that help us all shoot with more intention. Because photography isn't just about what you see. It's about what you feel when you stop to capture it. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, stay fresh. Peace.